What would really happen if you tried to land on every planet in our solar system? Spoiler, none of them would welcome you kindly. Let's take a deadly tour across the 8 planets and beyond. Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun. You might think that means it's always burning hot, but you'd be wrong. During the day, surface temperatures climb to a scorching 430 degrees Celsius. But at night, they plummet to minus 180 degrees Celsius. Why such extremes? Mercury has almost no atmosphere. Without one, heat can't spread around, and nothing traps warmth at night. And without air, you wouldn't survive more than 15 seconds. Your body fluids would boil, your eyes would burn from radiation, and you'd suffocate instantly. Honestly, if you crash on landing, you're lucky, because the other ways Mercury kills you are much worse. Next stop, Venus, the so-called twin of Earth. But don't be fooled, this is Earth's evil twin. Venus has an atmosphere 90 times thicker than Earth's, made mostly of carbon dioxide. That creates an insane greenhouse effect, making Venus the hottest planet in the solar system, even hotter than Mercury, with surface temperatures around 470 degrees Celsius. The pressure is like being 1 kilometer underwater, enough to crush you in seconds. The clouds, they're made of sulfuric acid. Even the best spacesuit would collapse in 2 seconds. On Venus, you'd be dead before you could even scream. Now Mars, the dream of human colonization. At noon on the equator, it feels nice, around 20 degrees Celsius. But at night, it can drop to minus 120 degrees Celsius. Still survivable with the right suit, but the problem is Mars' thin atmosphere. There's almost no oxygen, no real protection from solar radiation, and the pressure is so low your blood would start to boil. If you stepped outside without gear, you'd suffocate, your organs would fail, and within 2 minutes you'd be gone. But with a proper base, oxygen generators, and farming tech, Mars is the only planet where humans could realistically survive. Now things get brutal. Jupiter is the giant of the solar system, with a magnetic field 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. That means extreme radiation powerful enough to kill you before you even reach the clouds. But let's say your suit protects you. Once you dive in, hurricane winds of 480 kilometers per hour slam you around. The deeper you go, the atmosphere becomes so dense it turns into a strange state of matter called supercritical fluid. No ground, no solid surface, just endless falling, crushing pressure, and temperatures hotter than molten rock. You wouldn't survive long enough to see the metallic hydrogen layers or the fiery core at 240 degrees Celsius. Saturn looks beautiful with its rings. But don't get too close. Those rings are sharp, deadly debris ice and rock chunks, some the size of mountains. If you somehow slipped through, you'd face storms like the mysterious hexagon storm at the North Pole, big enough to swallow 2 Earths. Inside the atmosphere, winds hit 1,800 kilometers per hour, temperatures swing wildly, and pressure keeps rising until it crushes anything that dares to enter. And fun fact, Saturn is so light it could float on water. Too bad it would crush you long before that. Now to the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. These planets are freezing down to minus 220 degrees Celsius. Neptune holds the record for the fastest winds in the solar system, over 2,000 kilometers per hour faster than the speed of sound. And here's the weird part. Deep inside, methane in the atmosphere gets squeezed so hard that carbon turns into diamonds. Yes, on these planets, it literally rains diamonds. But don't dream of getting rich. The pressure and storms would shred you apart long before you collected a single gem. Finally, let's visit an old friend, Pluto, once the 9th planet, now just a dwarf planet, but still beloved. Don't be fooled by its cute reputation. Pluto is a frozen hell. Temperatures drop to minus 230 degrees Celsius. There's almost no air, and the pressure is so low your blood would boil and freeze at the same time. On Pluto, you wouldn't last more than 5 seconds. So, which planet would you dare to land on if you had the chance? And do you know the name of the most distant object orbiting our sun? Drop your guess in the comments.